So let's redraw the flowchart again, this time skipping the remaining if statements if we already got a yes on one of the preceding ones. So we have a start block. First thing we do is we ask if guess is greater than secret. If it's yes, then we say too high. And we go all the way down to our finish block. Like that. Okay. Next if statement is guess less than. So if guess is not greater than secret, then let's see if it's less than secret. If it is, my hand's getting tired writing this stuff. This pen is not the easiest thing to use. If guess is less than secret, then we must be too low. And once we print that we're too low, we go straight to finish, right? Now, we know that guess, now if we ended up down here, we know that, so if we ended up right here, okay, we know that guess was not greater than the secret number, and guess was not less than the secret number. So what is the only possible alternative? That guess was equal to the secret number. If it's not greater than and it's not less than, then it must be equal to. So do we need a third if statement? No, we don't. We already know that if we got all the way to here, then the user guessed the secret number. So all we got to do here is say you win. Oops, there we go. And from that point, you just go straight to finish. All right. Now, how do we implement this in Visual Studio in C#? Well, the way we do it is by using the else statement. And here's the way we're going to do it. After the end of the first if block, which is delimited by the end curly brace, the close curly brace, on the next line, right before that if, on the same line as that if, we type else space. So now we have if nud guess value greater than nud secret num value, we say you guessed too high. Else, which means if we didn't execute this block. So if the guess was not greater than the secret number, then start executing from here. And what are we asking here? Now we say, okay, so guess wasn't greater than secret num, because we didn't execute this part, we got to the else. Oh, so now let's check if guess is less than secret num. Okay, you see what this thing is doing? If in this first if statement, if the guess value was greater than the secret value, then we would execute this line of code right here. Oops. Okay. And then we would not execute the else or anything else after this. Okay. So what's really nice about the else is it lets you define two alternatives of code, only one of which is going to execute depending on whether the statement in the if condition is true or false. Okay. So if from our first if statement the guess was not greater than the secret number, then we execute the else line. And the else asks, well, is guess less than the secret number? If it is, then we say you guessed too low, right? But what if this statement here, the second if, is not true either? Then here on the instead of this last statement, remember, if guess is not greater than secret number and it's not less than, then it must be equal to, and we don't need this third if statement right here, correct? So what we do here then is we simply replace this whole line with an else. Okay. So now let's follow this logic. We enter into the function, and first thing we do is we ask, is the guess greater than the secret number? If it is, then we execute you guessed too high. We print out you guessed too high, and we do not execute any of the else statements following that if. So we don't execute this one, and we don't execute this one, right? But if guess, going back to the top here, if guess wasn't greater than the secret value, then we do not execute you guessed too high. We do not display that. And we go to the first else after that, which this first else asks if the guess is less than the secret number. And now we have a similar situation. If this is true, then we execute the block following the if, which only has us printing out you guessed too low. But if that's not true either, then we execute, instead of this, we execute the immediately following else statement, which assumes that if the guess was not too high and wasn't too low, then it must have been just right. So we win.